Hey, my YouTube family, this is Tammi C. Walker, the owner of Dreams Are a Reality. Oh, yes, I created this channel to provide light and love. I am so happy that I don't know what to do. I'm trying to contain myself. It's a few things going on. I'll be quick. I won't sidetrack too bad. But, those of you that follow me, some of my newer people that's watching, I have a pet cat that I adopted in October, and around Thanksgiving he just got so sick, and I spent the whole month of December trying to figure out what was wrong with this cat. 3 visits later to the vet, and it was like they could not help me, and I feel a little bad, like some of it was my fault trying to watch my budget, but I was asking them what do I get done for him, and they were saying fluids, antibiotics. Long story short, they couldn't figure it out. I had to go back to the adoption place. She sent me to the vet where they go, which is a much bigger place. They did a full panel and found out he had like a coronavirus. He was so sick he was not eating for days. The cat was definitely going to pass away, and I was starting to freak out. I lost 2 cats years ago. Although I just had them since October. You get a bond with these pets. Anyway, he's doing amazing, being bad, doing things he's not supposed to do. So that's a sign that he's doing much better. Looking out the window, jumping on his cat tree, just doing what little cats do, but he wasn't doing any of that. So that, I said all that for a reason. It put me in this really grateful mood for the new year, just to have him back on the mend. And I've been journaling, and I've been concerned about my business because I have a therapy practice. And of course, around the holidays, it got a little bit lower, not horribly, but I just started panicking a little. But anyway, a whole bunch of people booked this week. Things are good. I'm booked all week. I bet you it's just going to get better and better and better. I can feel it. And my Chicago Bears, they beat the Green Bay Packers in the wild card game. And if you know anything about Chicago, the Packers are our arch enemies. And we feel the same about each other. We cannot stand them. They cannot stand us. We just want to get over them. They have beat us so many times. As Aaron Rodgers said, I own you, and he did own us. He owned us. There's nothing we could say. Only way you can squash a beef is to beat them, and we did it. And I'm so happy. So it's just like so much good. So much. It's just more and more good. I can just feel it. I feel very excited about 2026, very inspired. I feel like some great things are on the horizon for me. But honey, you know they on the horizon for you. Because if you follow Dreams Are Reality, you know that's what I preach on my channel. However, today is going to be a little bit of a detour because I do want to get to the nitty gritty about these dating relationships and the dangers of dating multiple people or, playing games, and how it can cost you your life. Now, before I go any further, hit that like button, subscribe, share. Please comment. I love comments, please. And thank you for watching. Now, today I want to talk about dating advice, the wrong relationship. I might not get these names 100% correct. I will try, but let me hit it. Eric Samoa, this is from 2012. I do believe he lived in Maryland. I'm trying to be accurate, but I may be a little off. So yep, I'm right. Silver Spring, Maryland, 2012. He lived in a 6th floor apartment building. That was a young lady, Katrina. What's your crazy? I'm sorry, that's not nice. Katrina Ben. So this gentleman was a car salesman, a luxury car salesman. He looked to be doing fairly decent for himself. He dated multiple women, which I'm over here dropping stuff. Pardon me, you all. I think it's okay to date multiple women. I think it's okay for us women to date multiple men or same sex, however you roll. I don't have a problem with that because honestly, I wouldn't mind dating a couple guys just to see, because sometimes us women, we get hung up on one, and if we put, more eggs in a basket, you have a better shot of getting your match instead of getting hung up on one and then you get dumped. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that, but that is how it happens for some, and for some, of course not. Let's stay on the upward trend because this is definitely going to go down. So anyway, this lady was a traveling nurse. She lived in Mississippi, and I think she traveled from city to city. She'll stay 3 months and go somewhere else. She ends up in Maryland. Not good for Mr. He had a different last name. I don't want to mess it up. Not good for Eric Samoa. Yep, that's his name. So they live in the same building. They were having a Super Bowl get together in the community room, which I thought that is so cool. I would love if they did something like that here. They do have parties in our community room here, but that would be pretty cool, like a Super Bowl thing. Okay, so they ended up talking. Now, I'm making up stuff, not making up, like creating untruths, but I'm adding my own theory of how things kind of went, and also from the text messages that they showed when I saw this on YouTube. YouTube, whatever that thing was on YouTube, they did a great job with this. So it looks as if, and ladies out there, holler back if you hear me. It looks as if they were just having a thing where you jump into bed, have some fun, watch football. They were bonding over football. So, I just be having so much to say, and I keep trying not to get off subject. If you are in a situationship or just basically sleeping with a guy, sleeping with a lady, call a spade a spade. Don't go in the clouds thinking you're ready to have his last name in 3 weeks. So this is where some ladies get tripped up. Men, we don't think like you are. We don't. And even the healthy women, but definitely an unhealthy woman that has mental illness or trauma, if you sleep with her, if she is not mentally stable, in her mind, somewhere in the depths of her mind, she is going to think that you are an item. You haven't said we getting married. You haven't said we a couple. You only been sleeping with her, just having fun. She, if she's not stable, is going to think this is my man. Oh, we got something. We on the brink of something. This is why women and men, we got to do our work. What is that work you're talking about, Tammy? I'm sorry to say a question and then answer it because it sounds crazy. Your mental health support. If you know for a fact growing up you had trauma, if you know for a fact growing up there was abuse, if you know women that you have been with men and they have dumped you to the side, or maybe you had a baby with somebody, they didn't even come back and try to help, you were cheated on, whatever your trauma is, men, same for you, whatever your trauma is, we have to take our time and do our work. It does not mean sign up for therapy and do 4 sessions and think you fixed. It does not mean depending on your therapist to fix you. I'm a therapist. We cannot fix you. As much as I want to help, as much as I print out homework, as much as I sit and talk to my clients, as much as I try, I'm not going to be able to fix my clients. Only my clients could fix themselves. However, coming to talk to me week after week, we can hash some stuff out. After they talk for a while, they'll start thinking on their own. Even when they leave my office or when they leave the video, me and Tammy was talking about something that happened in 2018. I'm getting a different view on what happened. You know what? She is right, or what she said makes sense. I do need to love myself. I do need to forgive myself. I do need to give myself grace. I do need to do self-care. I do need to go on a trip. I do need to go to the Bears game by myself. I do need to go to that concert alone. I do need to get back on my guitar. I do need to get onto my music. I do need to get my GED, my bachelor's, my associate's, my PhD. I do need to start my business. It's not always only about a relationship, ladies. It's not. I'm with you, right hand to God. I've been divorced since 1999, and I had a long-term relationship more recently, and I loved that man and still do. I'm being transparent as transparent can be on this video. However, He is not the be all. He is not my all in all. And guess what? On March 1st or February 1st, I still got to pay that rent. Irregardless of what status me and that guy has. Stop making guys your everything. If you meet a guy in 3 weeks, he is not your everything. If you've been knowing a guy 30 years, he's not your everything. Put a person where they belong and stop putting them on pedestals. Because this is why this lady unalived this man that she just met. Because she did not do her work. Because she, and I'm not making fun of her because I am a clinician, she had a mental illness. Now maybe she wasn't aware. Or maybe, when people are mentally ill, that's hard. It's hard if you have a diagnosis. Maybe you're undiagnosed. Maybe, I don't know. She thought she was okay. But clearly you're not, because you unalived the man after 3 weeks and went to the police when they pulled you to the side and interrogated you. You made up a marijuana man. You making up stuff. You unalived somebody, and you're making up a story to not go to jail. And her demeanor was like, I'm talking to you, like a walk in the park. When you unalive somebody and you talk to the police with an attitude like you didn't do anything, you have a mental illness. And that is very, very scary. And someone in the comments was like, well, I know she was wrong. She shouldn't have unalived him, but that was a stiff sentence that they gave her. Like they said, she is not reformable. You cannot reform someone who has no conscience. Because if she did that to him, God bless us all. She'll do it to you and me. It was like she did not care. That was the hill she was willing to, DIM. The lie. Anyway, you all. They were messing around. And they were connecting on football. And per the text messages, he was not responding quick enough. He was not giving her what she wanted. And so in the text messages, she was expressing her frustration. Where are you? Things seem different. I mean, she going in. You only known them 3 weeks. So these are signs. These are red flags of the wrong relationship. Men, you got to think with this, not below. And you don't want to jump in a bed with all these different women because you can, because you're nice looking, because you make money. Because you can don't mean you should. Venereal diseases, these ladies will get pregnant on you. So you're gonna run into the wrong relationship. Sean Gale, former Chicago Bears player here in Illinois, was dating a bunch of women, had a whole list. And the main squeeze that he had been with for over close to 20 years was pregnant by him. Well, he messed around with some real estate fitness lady. She became obsessed. Why? Because she has mental illness. And she unalived the longest girlfriend that he had out of all the other women, who was expecting a baby. She was like 7-8 months pregnant. So she unalived her and her baby. Now, when they tried to figure out who did it, he has so many women, they had to go from name to name. So, men, my channel is Dreams Are Reality. I create this channel to provide light and love. And I'm not a male basher because I love men. I do. But I'm going to call a spade a spade. And when you do these things, you're playing games, you're playing Russian roulette with yourself, because it's just a matter of time before you meet somebody that's not stable, and it's gonna be lights out. And you gotta stop yourself and say, me going with my ego and using all these women, and maybe again, do you, boo. I'm not gonna judge you. If you want to have 15 women and you're single, are you really wrong? As long as you be honest, be like, hey, I'm not serious. Man, you all know what y'all say. I'm just having fun. Hey, I know. I'm in my 50s. I done heard all the lines. I done heard the lines being told to me. I done heard somebody else quote back a line. I know lines. I know the line. Let me give you some lines. Well, actually, I'm just having fun. I'm not ready for nothing serious. We grown. We can do what we want. Why we got to put a label on it? I'm working on some things. I'm just working on myself. Oh, I know it all. I know it all. So ladies, when you hear these lines, you need to run. If you know you really want a serious commitment, when they start to talk like that, you leave. Seriously, you say, I don't want no parts of it. If you feel you can handle it, then play the game with them. But a lot of times we can't handle what we think we can handle because we go catch feelings. Because we ladies, we built different. Don't get mad. You don't have to get my comments and say, I don't know what I'm talking about. Trust and believe. I'm not a know-it-all because I'm still learning a lot of stuff too. But let me go out and let me change this up. I can't do it. I've had some guys that was just fun, and it was okay because I wasn't deeply into them like that. But that don't work for me. I don't want to just jump in the bed with somebody, jump out. Jump in, jump out. Jump in, jump out. No, that is not what I'm looking for at this juncture in my life. As a 29-year-old, 30-year-old, I had some fun. But I'm more of a one guy. I just like my one guy, and we go sail into the sunset. We might fall off the horse. Sometimes the horse leave us. Sometimes there ain't no horse. Sometimes we up, sometimes we down. But I want to stick it out with him. And you tell me where we going, I'm going to follow you. But you got to be a good person to follow. I don't follow anybody. You got to be special. Got to be special and about something, okay? So let's get back to this crazy story. It's an unfortunate, sick story. So anyway, this particular night, they are watching a basketball game. I'm sorry if I said football. Lord, I did say football. But anyway, they were into basketball. I apologize. They were meeting up over the All-Star. That's what that community room for their apartment had, a celebration for the All-Star, not the Super Bowl. Either way, it was sports. So, but they connected on basketball because she said she loved basketball. So the poor gentleman, his family noticed he was not reaching out to anyone. So they had someone do a wellness check, and the guy's in his bed. They said you would have thought he was asleep because he was tucked basically under the covers. No, she had done unalived the man and put one in his head. So the surveillance, I don't remember if it was surveillance cameras. They followed the text messages. The phone was going to give it away every time. She was the main one. She was the standout texter. So that's why they went back to her. So she created this story about some marijuana. Now, one thing about it, two things for sure. When a murder occurs, these people in these stories are crafty. She said he smoked weed. She didn't, because she worked for the government as a nurse and she couldn't afford to get her jobs messed up. But he wanted some weed. Somebody came over or something with some marijuana. They were going back and forth. So she put it on that person. Like there was something going on with that. So she was trying to, long story short, trying to throw the detectives off. She was so nonchalant about it. And then she said, can you just tell me what happened to him? Even when they told her, she was like, oh. So then when they would go away from her, leave her in the room by herself, she rocking back and forth. She got her head down. Yeah, because you unalived him. You unalived him. So now that's why you acting like that. It's not that you're feeling so bad. Pardon me, I got to take a drink of water because this is just too much. Hold on. So yeah. Okay. So anyway, once they did go in his apartment, it was an odor. It seems like he had been maybe deceased a couple of days. And they thought it was suicide. His family said there's no way he would have did that. But to me, I'm sitting here like, where was the gun? If it was suicide, how's somebody going to do that to themselves and get rid of the gun? Makes no sense. So they should have never thought that in the first place. But who am I? I'm not a detective. I just play one on TV. So anyway, they went back and forth with this lady, and she was playing it off like she didn't know what happened. They figured out the way that she traveled. Anyway, somebody found a .380 gun, which was matched the bullet that was in Mr. Eric. And I don't want to say his last name because I keep messing it up. Some more. It's not that power. Some more. So they some kind of way they figured the way her car traveled. Some of this I'm kind of ad-libbing. They figured she threw it along the way of getting to their apartment. And so they asked her, have you ever shot a gun? No. Do you have a gun? No. Have you ever shot a gun? No. And they did ask her another question. She said all no's. So they put two and two together. They some kind of way, a good Samaritan brought the gun to the police station because they found it along the way. They traced it back, and it went back to a pawn shop. And guess who came to back? Katrina Ben. So when they did finally confront her, she had an attitude. Well, she was caught. Now, the family also mentioned a girlfriend, Denise, who Mr. Samore, Eric, had been seeing for about a year. She was 20 years older. Now, he was 34, so she was my age, 55. I'm 55, she was 54. And they did not like her. She had a key to his apartment, but that lead quickly proved to be a blank N, DADN. I don't know how much I can say. I don't want to get censored on YouTube, but yeah. So the phone records for Denise, that put her at home. So it wasn't her because it was Katrina. So I do want to dip off on Katrina because I want to dip off and talk about her. How does a woman that only knows a man 3 weeks, 1, 2, 3, not months, not years, it don't matter if it's 30 years, you're going to unalive somebody because they have other women or they don't want to be with you, you move on. Yep. Guess what? Your feelings might be hurt in 3 weeks and you might be mad, but that don't give you no right to do that to somebody. But again, when we play games, and this happened with ladies, when we play games with people, he wasn't really playing a game with her. He just was doing what he wanted to do, and that's his prerogative. But when you do this, when you do this, and you want to have multiple, and you want to play this game, it's not a game. You're dating loosely. You're dating casually. It's a matter, all my stuff sound like songs. Oh, it's just a matter of time. That's George Michael's. Da 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 da. Really wham. Da 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 da. But it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. You are going to meet a bad match, the wrong relationship, and the scary part. The wrong relationship is going to give you a venereal disease that you can't get rid of, produce a child, or you're going to get hurt. If you run into this wrong relationship, it can cost you way more than that rumble in the bed. I'm sorry to be on my soapbox, but sometimes we got to learn some self-control. Hey, I like SEX just like you, you. But at what cost? You got to get some mental control, some self-control, because that thing can cost you a whole lot, and it's just not worth it. You better off committing to one person than trying to have all these people. I know what's going on in 2025. Now it's 2026. I don't want to get in no relationship. It's not worth it. Can't trust nobody. Guess what, you are? Regardless, it's still good people out here that want to love you, that loves themselves, that want to settle down, and you can be great together. It's unfortunate that we got to play games with each other. It's unfortunate that sometimes it takes a while, but that's just what it is. I'm in the same boat with you, and some of you watching are in your 30s and 40s. You better off than me. I'm a little bit even more seasoned than that. But still, I still have to keep hope. I still have to present myself in a way that's correct, in a way that's going to be safe for me as a woman. So be safe out here, even as a man. Don't think because you're a man you can do what you want. There's consequences to your action. And when you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, have 17, 18 women, Sean Gale, it's a matter of time. Your gig is going to be up, and somebody is going to hurt somebody you love or hurt you. And either way, you lose. Now, Sean Gale, the former Bears player, if I knew that the lady I messed around with caused my child's mother and my baby girl to be unalived, that blood would be on me. That would bother me for the rest of my life on this earth. I'm sure it is. And if it don't bother him, something is terribly wrong. It don't make no sense. It wasn't worth it. Okay. How does a woman of 3 weeks, how does a woman meet a man and 3 weeks later she's unaliving him and she barely knows him? This is how. She wasn't attached to him. She was attached to the fantasy. The thing that some of us women can do. He's my soulmate. This is my chance at love. Probably my only chance. This relationship will fix my loneliness. When the fantasy is fragile, any threat feels catastrophic. I can't read today. Catastrophic. Yeah, I hope that's right. Yeah, but you all know what I'm saying. When you're in that fantasy land, if somebody threatens to take what you have, oh no, you ain't taking this. It's similar to a lady was pregnant and loses the baby and then continues to pretend she pregnant, like putting a pillow in her stomach or, buying a fake stomach. I know it sounds crazy. People would do this because they really wanted that baby with that man. The baby, the baby passes. The man and the lady really wasn't really together. Now they have nothing holding them together. And they're like, oh my goodness, I don't have the baby. Let me pretend. Let me keep the gig going so I can keep him. I know it sounds crazy, but it's a fantasy. It's a fantasy. Mental illness. That's what it is. And I'm not making fun of that because it's sad. Jealousy was not the cause for her to unalive here I go. His name, Eric M. It was just a trigger. Seeing these other women on his phone didn't create the violence. It activated something that was already in her. At the end of the day, this was not about him. This was about her and her trauma and the sickness that she had, the illness. She had something. If we can get into the background of her, we don't know, her background. I guarantee you, Katrina Ben has abandonment wounds or a fear of rejection. We know that. That was proven. Fear of being replaced. That was proven. A belief that love equals a possession. Clearly. And I'm sure a history of unstable relationships. Probably didn't even get along with her family or friends. Well, they said that. Well, they did say the clients really liked her. She was a nurse and she took good care of people, which is even way more twisted. But you can be a good teacher, therapist, or whatever, but that's separate from your heartstring of love, because that love is going to touch on those abandonment wounds. I'm a social worker, I'm a therapist, I'm caring for my clients. When they leave, I don't like it if they just ghost me, especially after I pour my work into them, but I'm okay. But if I'm with a guy and he just ups and leaves after I'm thinking we're, get ready to get engaged or whatever, real talk, that is gonna attack my abandonment wounds. That is going to possibly bring up this fear of rejection, which is what happened with her. Definitely the fear of rejection, definitely the fear of being replaced, definitely a belief that love equals a possession. Anytime you unalive someone of 3 weeks, you think that's a possession. Even if it was 3 years or 13 years, she still was viewing him as hers. 3 weeks was the perfect storm for an obsession. This is an early stage relationship. Early stage relationships can be intoxicating for someone who lacks emotional regulation, which we know she does, who lacks emotional intelligence, which we know she does, confuses intensity with intimacy. If she saw this guy for 3 weeks straight and maybe twice a week, she thinking they are ready to go sailing to the sunset. This gonna be my future husband. Now he thinking we watching some basketball, I'm about to hit it and quit it. Because I got 15 other ones on this phone. I'm not thinking about her. I got an older woman. If she has a history of trauma, 3 weeks is the perfect storm for obsession. Has a fragile sense of self, 3 weeks is the perfect storm. Okay? In that state, the other person becomes a symbol. And he wasn't a partner. He was a symbol to her. Losing that symbol felt like she was losing identity, safety, or purpose. And I think she made a comment like this in her mind: you don't play me like that, I'm gonna get you back. I'm gonna get you back, because you know people are like that. Slash tires. Does that ring a bell? People slashing tires and destroying property, they getting you back because they're not stable, and they're gonna get their get back. And how they get you back is hitting you, breaking something, slashing your tire. They crazy. Forgive me for saying that, but they are not stable. They are not stable. Violence is almost always about control. When someone is abusive, it's control. If you know anything about domestic violence, it's a control wheel that's out, and it's a cycle of abuse. Domestic violence or violence is always about control. It's always. It's not love, you all. Don't get it mixed up. It's not love. And when you see these signs early on, you go as fast as you can. Do not stick around. Do not say, let me get in the benefit of the doubt, or I'm going to see how this is going to go. They were just mad. It was on me. I could have said something different. I think I set them off. I'll take the blame. Do not do this, people. It could cost you your life. When you sense it early on, read between the lines and watch the red flags. Get your head out your butt, you all. I'm serious. Dating, it's beautiful. I think it's fun. Like, you date, you go out for dinner, you go to the movies, a picnic, concert. You know, even I'm like this. I go to Starbucks, or I go to a place and have a glass of wine. It doesn't have to be all foo-foo for me. I can buy my own steak dinner. I'm doing decent for myself. I take good care of myself. But it doesn't have to be all that. Walk in the park, some ice cream, especially you getting to know somebody. You know, if any of you all been anywhere, done stuff, traveled, had nice dinners, it's all cool. But I'm just saying, dating, it can be fun. It can be good. But it can go left when you have to deal with this type of stuff. And the most left you can get is become deceased. It's not worth it at the end of the day. Read the room. This is why it's important to stay out of the bedroom with all these different people before you know who these people really are. People can wear a mask for 3 months, 6 months, sometimes even a year. Take your time and stop playing yourself, because you could be the one to get played. You don't want to be deceased. It's not worth it. It's just not. It's not. You could have waited, or you could have stuck to one or two people. One person is really the thing to do. But I know some people they just ego driven. I'm good looking. I got money. I can do what I want. I don't want to settle down. Okay, then take the chance and end up on a Fatal Attraction snapped or something. Is that what you want? And obviously, sorry, Eric. I know you're not here to defend yourself. God bless you, God. You know, hey, you had work to do too, because I don't even want to judge the man. He's not even here. But I just think when men think they have to have 18 women, Sean Gale, there's something fucked up about you. It really is. I can talk about Sean. He's still here. There's something messed up about you. You know what? Do you have to have all the women? It's greed. And it's just effed up that your greed got that damn woman unalived and her baby. And I hope and pray that it bothers you, because if it don't, you scarier than I thought. I'm sorry to judge, but I just don't like stuff like that. I just feel like, just keep it real. You know, for me, you could tell me, hey, I'm gonna be frank with you. I do what I want. I have multiple people. That way I'll know, like, ooh, I'm out. I don't want no parts of that. I don't want no parts of that. I get it. You single, you can do what you want, but count me out. I don't want to be a list of 15, 18. It's just not that serious. I don't even have time for that. I don't have time. And you don't have time either that's watching. You deserve better. Do better for yourself, because that better could save your life, and you don't need to be harmed. You don't need, it's just not that. I ain't never had no sex that make me want to die. Never. It's not worth it at the end of the day. Whew, that kind of stuff just gets, I'm getting upset talking about this. Okay. So anyway, I'm gonna hurry up and get off of this so I can just move on with my life. But I did want to do this video because it's reality, and we have these fatal attractions and these type of things because of it's like mental illness, and it's people that really have trauma and have not done their work. again, about this violence is almost always about control, not love. This is how they think. If I can't have you, no one can. And you know Katrina was thinking that. You don't get to leave me. In her case, you don't get to have other women on me. You don't play me. I'm going to win. Even if winning means taking you out of here. And that's real sick. You don't get to reject me. This is what she did. This is what it was. That is not love. That's possession mixed with a psychological instability. So I know you're probably wondering, how did this escalate so fast from 3 weeks? Because she had untreated mental illness, because likely we can say she had this, because no sane person is going to do this. If we went into her history, it's going to be a history of chaotic relationships. Somebody abandoned her, left her. It might have happened over and over. She was dating. She really wanted something serious, and they left her over and over. But what some women don't talk about, and men, they become very aggressive. You meet them in 2 weeks, they claiming you, and that runs men away. Men don't like that, ladies. If you're out on a date, you talk on the phone, you're texting, you go on maybe 2 dates in 3 weeks, and now you're calling and texting. You're not giving them a chance to call you back. Men don't like that. And so these type of women like Katrina Ben, they're very aggressive. And I get it, you all. When I speak, I'm not no angel, and I'm not immune to this stuff. When I like somebody, I like them too. And I do want to talk back to them. But sometimes you gotta play it cool. This is why you need to be busy with your self-care. Are you getting your massages or reading your books or journaling or praying or whatever you can do to make yourself more grounded? You don't need to be thinking about the person you went on a date with all day. You should still be working on your career in school or traveling or doing whatever. When you meet somebody and you're dating, don't wipe your calendar clean. You continue with your tennis lessons. You continue with your swimming lessons. You continue getting your hair done. You continue hanging out with your friends and your family. You continue being in your career. Just because you meet somebody is not the be all. We put too much emphasis on these relationships and having a man and having a woman. Men don't think like us though, but they can do some crazy stuff. You know, they'll hurt us quicker than we'll hurt them. So we can't give them a pass either. But it's both of us. It's not gender specific. We all are to blame that get caught up in these crazy situations. But we shouldn't have to do this anymore. The way mental health has been pushed out. Mental health, prevention. Mental health. What am I trying to say? Support, really, is what I'm trying to say. Mental health awareness. Anyway, so it escalated so fast because, of course, again, untreated mental health issues, a history of chaotic relationships. We don't know, but I bet you we did some background search on her. You're going to have exes come out the box and say, yeah, she was crazy. That's their words, because I'm not trying, but they're going to say that she slashed my tires. We had a fight. She was following me around. She kept calling my job. Oh, yeah, it's going to be a history of that. Poor impulse control. Well, hello. You at somebody's house watching the game with them, that man falls asleep and you unalives him. Oh, that's poor impulse control, because what part of her did not say, why do I have a gun with me? Why am I getting ready to kill him? I'm crazy. This is crazy. She did not even go that far. She went to her impulse and did it. But her doing it is just, it's a lot. But what got me was how she was acting with them police. She act like it was Christmas Eve. She was ready to go Christmas shop. She didn't do a thing. That's scary when somebody could be that cold and calculating. And that's what I'm trying to tell you all. They out here. An inability to tolerate rejection. We know that. He didn't even really reject her though. That's what's even scarier. He just had other women, but to her, that was rejection. So that's what it wasn't about him. It was her perception of what was happening. He wasn't even rejecting her, because if he was rejecting her, she wouldn't even been in his home. She was in his home, so he let her in. A tendency to idolize and then devalue partners. She probably idolized him. That's a good looking man. I'm great to have me somebody. And then she devalued him all the way to, I'm going to unalive him. She didn't value that guy. When you value someone, you don't take their life or hurt them. 3 weeks is long enough time for someone like that to become emotionally fused with a person they barely know. It's not about the guy. It was her own fantasy, trauma, undiagnosed mental health issue. Maybe it was diagnosed. History of chaotic relationships, poor impulse control, her inability to tolerate rejection, and a tendency to idolize and devalue partners. It wasn't about him. It would have been any guy that did not do what she thought they should do or give her what she wanted. If it wasn't Eric, it was going to be somebody else, because it was a matter of time. That's why they gave her life plus 20 years, because you cannot rehabilitate that type of person. They will they will unalive again. They will unalive again because she had no conscience. That is scary to me. That is so scary. People don't kill because of jealousy. They kill because the relationship was filling a psychological void. And the moment it cracked, their entire internal world collapsed. In 3 weeks, this happened to her. It's tragic, but it's a reminder of something that I definitely try to live by. Healthy love is grounded. It's slow. It's mutual. It's chosen. It's not frantic. It's not possessive. It's not desperate. I'm going to end with that. On that, I'm going to really end, period. I know how you feel. I'm a lover. I'm the beautiful Virgo. I believe in love. I believe in one guy. I'm an older lady now. I don't feel older. I say that a lot, but I feel 40-ish. Even though I get a little stiff sometimes. That's the only thing about getting a little older. But I do exercise sometimes 3 times a week. Sometimes. But I love my life. I have a good life. I do want to get remarried, you all. I really do. I've been married before. I've been engaged. I had a long-term relationship. But I don't want to force anything. I'm not going to make nobody love me. I'm not going to make nobody marry me. I'm not going to make nobody come over here and see me and take me out. I go to the Bulls games. They're not that great, but I go. I love my Bears. I love my Bulls. I have great nephews. I have a little younger nephew who's 7, and I have 2 nieces. And I have sisters that love me. I love them. I have a grown niece who's my hairstylist, who I love. She's like a daughter. I have great friends. I'm a very blessed lady. I have my own therapy practice. I'm very, very, very blessed. But I do want to get remarried. But at what cost? I'm not going to go on a bunch of dating apps and try to make some guy be with me. I'm not going to be stalking my ex and say, now why are we not together? I'm going to let it be. I'm going to let it marinate. And I'm going to trust that God up above has the design rolled out for the life of Tammi Sharice Walker. But I'm going to get on these videos and do a video for you. I'm going to travel. I'm going to spend time with friends and family. I'm going to exercise, take my vitamins, spend time with my little pet cat, and run my practice and just live a great life. Be blessed and be a blessing to others. And be happy, you all. When you know, if you even suspect, I'm kind of messed up. And I don't want to say messed up in the head because that sounds derogatory. I'm messed up to the point where I'm not doing things that are sane. And I'm feeling unstable and I'm feeling shaky. And I'm calling this guy 12 times. He's not answering. I can't stop calling. And I'm texting him over and over. I'm texting her over and over. I'm outside his house. He told me he don't want a relationship, but I'm feeling kind of funny, like I'm going to do something to him. Be honest with yourself and call. Get on www.psychologytoday.com. Wherever you live, just jump online and say, I need a therapist. If you're African American, I need an African American therapist. If you're a Caucasian, that's easy. You ain't got to type that in. There's a lot of Caucasian therapists. Whatever your race, Asian, Latina, Latino. Type that in and get what you need. LBGTQ. It's too late for that kind of. I'll start messing stuff up. Whatever you need, you get that. And get support. You don't have to tell nobody. You do it on your lunch. You do it in your house. You do it in your car. You do it by video or you go in person. That's why it's good to go in person. Nobody don't know where you are. And you do your work. Hey, I'm having some issues. I'm very jealous. I had some trauma. Sometimes I want to do something to my ex-boyfriend. I want to do something to the guy that rejected me. Be truthful. We gonna listen. I've had people come to me with violence issues, and I tell them the truth. They don't like me. They don't like me. I'm not gonna be mean. I'll never be mean about it. That's not part of being a social worker. But I gotta be truthful. It's not good when you hit somebody. You're gonna end up in jail. Hey, straight up no chaser. What's causing you to want to hit this person? We got to get to the root of this. When did this start? What age were you? These are things that you can talk about in therapy, but don't go unalive somebody. This lady was a nurse. You know how much time it takes to be a nurse, a doctor, a social worker. There's a lot of schooling. Or some politicians that's attorneys and they go do fraudulent stuff, end up in jail. It took a long time to be an attorney. Don't throw away your life for somebody else. Nobody's worth that. They are not your possession. Love is so much better when you let it flow. You cannot force somebody to be with you. They don't want to be with you. They don't want to be with you. It does hurt. I've been hurt. I've cried over this many a times. I don't get rejected a lot, but it's been things that happened where the relationship didn't go how I wanted, and it was very upsetting. But guess what? Guess what, you all? Now this is what growth looks like. Some of that was on me. Rushing. Not reading the room, not saying that guy was not healthy, not saying I was not healthy, but growth. Now I see it was a blessing that these things didn't turn out the way they did. Don't hurt nobody, and please don't go hurt yourself. If you feel like that, you want to do self-harm, 988. Text. Is it just straight 988? Call 988. Call 988. Text 988, either or. Somebody's there 24/7, English and Spanish, to help you if you're in a crisis or you feel like you want to self-harm. Please, you all, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Do not do this to yourself, and please don't do this to nobody else. Nobody deserves that, even when they wrong. All righty, this is one of my better videos, you all. I'm feeling good about it. What you thinking about all that stuff I said? Drop me comments. Listen to it until the end. Well, if you hear this, you're at the end. Okay, I want to do a lot of stuff this year besides relationship stuff. That's my favorite. I love it. Definitely some more NACA stuff. Housing. Start your own business. Confidence always. That's always. Social work stuff. Yeah, help people get into their social work business. I gotta go. It is 12:40, but I don't have to get up early because tomorrow is Sunday. But I a little bit early. Okay, God bless you all. God keep you all. Thanks for watching. Bye.